So for this installation, we'll be working on a 2005 Toyota Camry. This is going to be the same for any pretty much any 02 to 06. We're going to be changing out the taillight assembly. So whether you took some damage from a small accident or something like that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pulling this entire thing out, showing you how to put it right back in. Pretty easy installation. It's going to take just a couple of minutes. Tools we're going to be using today, we're going to have a 10mm socket with a ratchet. I've got a ratcheting Phillips head screwdriver. You can use a regular one. Also got a small flathead screwdriver just in case. Not really necessary, but sometimes it helps get the wiring harness off. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. Now inside here, it might be a little difficult to see. Some vehicles are going to have the net that spans across the width of the trunk compartment. There's a Phillips screw here that holds the net hook in place. We're going to go ahead and remove that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this trim panel back and then pull the trunk liner back to expose the mounting area of the taillight assembly. So with that off, we're able to go ahead and pull this back. Now you want to be careful. The trunk liner is not, I mean it's cloth, but it also has a sort of a molded quality to it, so you want to be careful not to break it. So we're going to go ahead and pull this back, pull the trim panel back slightly. Also be careful, you may have to lift up your lining mat just a little bit. Pull this back, and then there's a hook here that the trunk liner sort of mounts around. Lost a couple retaining clips there, and then we can go ahead and pull that trunk liner back gently to expose the rear of the taillight. So with that back, we can go ahead and now access the back of the taillight panel, which we'll go ahead and do. There's going to be three 10mm bolts, looking like I'm actually going to want to use a wrench because I don't think I have a deep socket on this. Let me check. No, we're good. All right. So, go ahead and loosen the three 10mm bolts that hold the taillight assembly to the vehicle. So we're heading in here. So the bolts that we're looking at, see how there's those three mounting bolts there. Those are the ones we're going to be taking out. Now the assembly is separated from the vehicle. You should be able to pop it right out. There's going to be one wiring harness on the back here. There's a gasket that is attached to this headlight. Make sure we're getting a good view here. There's a gasket attached to the headlight. I'm actually not going to remove it, and I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to unplug the wiring harness here. But as you can see, it's just one harness that runs to the taillight assembly. If you get your part from GoPart.com, it's going to include all new wiring. If you didn't, it may not, in which case what you can do is you can easily transfer all these wiring harnesses and bulbs over to the new assembly, and then go ahead and put it right back into place, plug it back into the vehicle, and we're good to go. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with this taillight, so we're going to put it right back in. So you slide it right into place. Right back in. Three 10mm bolts. I like to get all three of them started and then tighten them all up together. Makes it a little easier. Just make sure that we have it mounted properly. Everything's in there. Go ahead and tighten everything up. Doesn't have to be incredibly tight, but you do want to make sure it's obviously tight enough that don't end up with some taillight flying off your vehicle when you're heading down the freeway. It's never a good time. New taillight's mounted. Let's go ahead and reattach our trunk liner. Fits right behind this trim panel here. There's a couple of retaining clips that are going to help hold this into place. So as you lift it up, you might hear them pop out. Whenever you go to snap it back in, they'll just pop right back in, as ours has. And then close this little door. And you want to make sure that your trunk liner fits around this small hook. Try to show you here. It's a little dark in the trunk, but I think we can get it for you. Small hook right here is actually part of the vehicle chassis. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and get the trunk liner around that hook. That's going to keep it tight and in place. Okay, so we'll do that. With that in place, this all back together, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tighten the Phillips screw. Now what you want to do is, because it's sort of a retaining clip, let's see if we can get a good shot of that, sort of a retaining clip sort of hook, so you actually want to push it completely into place, then use the Phillips screw to secure it. So we'll snap it all the way in. Once that's in, you can go ahead and tighten up the Phillips screw. Make sure it's nice and tight. Check everything. It's always good practice, just kind of give everything a once over, make sure everything's tight and in place. We are in fantastic shape, it looks like. And just like that, something crossed off the to-do list, and you're back to watching the ball game on a Saturday.